Change for me is to just forever evolving and bettering myself and growing and just being aware of different situations.
When I began my healing journey, a friend of mine said to me that you have to lead by example and that I had to take the steps to heal so that I could show my daughter the way.
So my mindset went from blame, like, well, that's how I was brought up and this is this and that.
Yeah.
It went from that to these actions are mine. I need to take full responsibility for these actions. And my kids were just they were in tears, and it was just a beautiful moment. Actually, a couple of days after that, one of my older boys reached out to me and...
Welcome to Krystal Rowe Impact, a space dedicated to empowering you to be the change that your bloodline has been waiting for. Join me and together, let's inspire change. Kia ora whanau, and welcome back to the Krystal Rowe Impact podcast. And today I'm joined with my amazing husband, TJ. So today we're going to be talking about becoming the change. So what does that mean for you?
We're gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. It's gonna make a difference. Yeah, that's I can't hit that other note, so I'll just leave that there.
All right.
But change for me is to just forever evolving and bettering myself and growing and just being aware of different situations that I've previously been in to become a better person. And one thing that springs to mind is, I've been a father figure since I was 17 years old, raising kids the best I could, the way I could. And my older children, I feel that I wasn't the greatest. I knew I could have been more for them. So recently my older kids have moved out, and lately, since working on my breath and creating this calm and peace within, I catch myself bringing up my younger children in a whole complete different way. And that automatically has been honestly, it's been making me feel a bit of guilt and shame towards my older kids, because the same situation would have been a complete different outcome with my older children. So just being aware of that and knowing that, it feels great to be able to change and to be a better man, a better father, but also taking responsibility for the impact that I have done on my older kids. So recently I did call a meeting with my older kids. I just wanted to open up to them, apologize, and, just tell them how I'm feeling and just give them that permission to speak up with me. And, just telling them how I just want that relationship with them, although I brought them up in some violent situations. I'm being real. There were times there where I inflicted a lot of fear on my children, my older kids, and just doing all this work on myself, being a better father now it's made me feel guilty of that. That's why I've sort of approached them and, told them I love them and I appreciate them, and, I take full responsibility of certain situations, and I just want to be involved in their life a lot more.
And that's so amazing and powerful. I know you've been wanting to do that for quite a long time. And it was actually one of your breathworks that made you just be like, I have to do this. And I think a lot more healing came from that than the action itself. It was great to get everybody together, and the words that you used and the responsibility that you took, the accountability for your actions. Yeah. It not only taught them that they can do that as well. So in that moment, you literally broke a cycle of not taking responsibility. Yeah. And so that's amazing.
So my mindset went from blame, well, that's how I was brought up and this is this and that.
Yeah.
It went from that to these actions are mine. I need to take full responsibility for these actions. And my kids were just... They were in tears, and it was just a beautiful moment. Actually, a couple of days after that, one of my older boys reached out to me and, said, Dad, thank you so much for that talk the other night. I've actually come into a situation where I'm struggling. So he reached out for help, and that was just so beautiful to have my son reach out to me.
Yeah.
And I had the answers for him straight away. And it was just so, so beautiful that he could find the courage, and in a way I gave him permission to do that.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. So,
just breaking cycles. And it only stemmed from you taking accountability for your behavior. Nobody else's. I think you just touched on it before. You've spent a lot of your life holding on to blame for why. And we do that as human beings. We're meaningful people. You've said that to me before, where we need a meaning for why.
situations. Yeah.
Yeah, for our circumstance. There's always a reason, like an excuse, yeah, but we need a meaning behind why something is the way it is or why we are where we are. But instead of taking full responsibility that maybe, yeah, we could have had parents that made poor choices, or we might have ran away, or we might have made poor choices that led us to a situation. But if we're not willing to take that ownership, we're never going to break cycles. And the same thing's going to happen. And it doesn't matter, like, if people understand either why we do what we do to heal, to break cycles, why we speak up now instead of then, or anything that, like, gets you to that point where you break that generational pattern. Like you literally stood in the way from things repeating. And that's so powerful.
And like I explained to my kids too, when I had that little meeting with them, it's like, if I can impact your guys' life, or if I can do my part of healing and trying to change these habits and these traits, if I can just do a percentage of that and teach yous as well, and then they come to a situation that they can learn and do another percentage, eventually it'll just flow out,
Yeah. And it starts with us too. I was reminded of when I began my healing journey, a friend of mine said to me that you have to lead by example. And that I had to take the steps to heal so that I could show my daughter the way. And that's one of my greatest victories in life, is that I healed and I broke that cycle. And that even though, we talk about our older kids and how we weren't necessarily what we needed to be for them, but now we have the chance to make it up. Whānau, in saying that, becoming the change, it's never too late. It's never too late to start, and it's never too late to be the change that your bloodline has been waiting for. I know personally, I've seen the results of beginning a healing journey and pursuing healing and growth and overcoming limiting fears and limiting beliefs. There is beauty on the other side of tragedy. There's beauty and life on the other side of trauma. You just have to be the one that puts your hands up and says that it ends with me. You can be the one that all that shit ends with. So, my love.
No, that's beautiful, my love. And just to add to that, it's never too late also to take responsibility and take ownership of the actions you've done, or the fear you've inflicted into the saying it is what it is. That it doesn't have to be like that. You can change that. You can get that trust back, can eliminate that fear.
You can be the change.
Just be that change. Yeah. For me personally, with my father, by me doing this, I have nothing but utmost love for my dad. Like, my love for him has leveled up. Although he may be responsible for a lot of my fears growing up, for me to forgive him, to be able to take responsibility for my own actions, the blame went away from him. I don't blame him for my actions anymore, where I as I used to. And it's just another whole beautiful place to be in, when you can forgive and love and project that onto your children.
Awesome, whānau. So if you love this episode, and if you want to find out more about our healing journey and our action steps to creating accountability and ownership, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Leave a comment, a question below, and reach out if you need help and support. So whānau, also remember that we have some retreats coming up that can actually help you unpack and redefine your purpose in life and help you to take ownership. So make sure you follow along and check out our dates that are coming up in a city near you. And we will see you on the next episode.